Another episode of What Were You Thinking? And thanks everybody for joining us. I am Bob Siosic. I'm filling in again. I'm one of the founders of World's Greatest, filling in here as host once again today. We got Devin Allen maybe popping in a little bit later in the episode. We have to see on that. Our other normal co-host, Brandon Miller, he is jamming. He's got about 3 hours left in his deadline. He's got an exam due at midnight. So I'd love to be checking in on him to see how he's doing and how he's getting on with the exam. But we'll leave him on his own on that one. The So today we have an incredible array of guests. My co-host is going to be Jessica Beard. She should be popping in here shortly. And we also have Mike Rodgers will be joining us in a few minutes. Both Jessica and Mike are down in Bermuda for a big competition down there. So that'll be super exciting. I believe that's on Saturday if I have my timing correct here. And and so our other guest is Wellington Zaza. We could not resist. We brought Zaza back. I'm sure we'll get Fred in the chat, kind of trolling Zaza a bit. Could be pretty funny. Who knows? Maybe we'll bring Fred in if he does pop in. I mean, it's this should be a great show. I just want to go kind of through some of the accolades while we start to before we bring Mike on the show, and while we're waiting for Jessica to pop in as well. I mean, we're kind of going through doing a little research, and Mike, we're gonna have to like confirm this, but we're just kind of going through your wins, and it's like 2 pages. Like you might have 5, 10, 15 people on the circuit who collectively don't have this many wins as Mike has had in his career, but it's a long list. And while we're waiting for Jessica, I think we should just bring Mike in. So Mike, I'm gonna click you in here, and let's see if we got the good strong Wi-Fi happening on your end. So we'll be clicking Mike Rodgers into the episode. And again, he is in Bermuda. We tested this earlier, and it did work. It was a little bit choppy here and there, but we were kind of working it out. We're based here in New York City, so we had kind of the contrast of backgrounds. Mike had the beautiful, ocean in the background. Oh, there he is. There he is. What's going on, Mike? Can you hear me all right?
Out here in Bermuda, living my best life.
There we go. There we go. Now it's dark in the background, but before when we were testing this, it was just blue water back there. That's all we were seeing. There's Jessica.
Yeah, that was earlier. I wish I had a light.
We got a little lag going on with you, Mike, but we got Jess in here now as well. So we got to figure this out, though, guys. Are you in the same building on the same floor?
He in a different building than me.
Jess has the perfect Wi-Fi going, Mike. We don't know what's going on, man.
He gone.
We got the lag. The Bermuda lag is killing us. We were testing this.
What is that about?
I don't know. You're a little choppy, Mike. We'll try to keep. You know what we'll do? We'll go through a rundown of all your wins.
Yeah,
here we
he
go.
froze.
Oh no! Now he's out.
You
Popping out, popping back in.
Oh, you gone.
Can y'all see and hear me?
We can hear you now. We can see you. Yeah, you're kind of a little laggy.
Just
Ooh, that is no good. Oh, that's no good.
Well,
you got good lighting.
He does have good lighting.
Oh my God.
Well,
It
Jess,
sound like
I don't know if you saw the list that we were kind of putting in there for Mike's wins, but I think I totaled it up. It's like 24 wins that are just in this list.
Wellington said Mike got an Android.
What we get? So, Jess, are you getting ready? Give us a rundown while we wait for Mike to pop in here. You're getting ready for the meet is on Saturday?
Yes, it's Saturday afternoon to early evening. I am opening up in 200, so getting some speed work in.
All right.
And yeah, so I'm excited to be running with some 200 and 100 meter ladies. The better, faster my 200, the more I can attack and be aggressive in my 400 race as well. So I'm excited about that.
So
I mean, outdoor
you're
season
racing
is
in
here.
both?
It's just kind of crazy to believe because I'm like, wow, we're just at Indoor Worlds.
That is
No.
crazy. I didn't think so, but I'm
No,
like,
they're only
you were
like 17 minutes apart.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think so. I didn't think you're
No.
that crazy.
Even
but
though I've had less rest at practice.
Yeah. So will you
I'm
end
not. Even though 3 years ago I ran at this meet and I did do both,
Oh, you
but
did.
they were about an hour apart, at least an hour. So I had time.
Is it better to have an hour,
Mike,
or is it
hi
better to
Mike.
have 3 or 4 hours?
We miss you.
I know. He's trying again.
Am I froze? Or
No, you're not froze. You're fine.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Well, maybe we should bring in Zaza while we're waiting and see if Mike can pop in, right? Oh, now we lost Jess. Now Jess is back.
There you go, Bob. You're on the other end, other side.
I'm bringing in Zaza just to kind of get this stuff going. Let's see if he's all laggy.
Bring him in.
Let's see if he's all laggy. Hey, this is what happens when we're trying to do shows and people all over the world.
Yo.
Here he is.
What's going on? No, he's not lagging either.
Nah. Hey, listen, we got 5G over here.
But you're in Miami,
we
right?
got 5G over here. I don't know what y'all got over that Grotto Bay, but that ain't it.
Where are you, Zaza? Where are you?
I'm in my room.
You said what?
Where are you, Zaza?
I'm home. I'm at the crib.
Yeah. So he's got the good Miami Wi-Fi.
I don't know. It seemed like you might be around the corner from Mike.
No.
Okay, here you go. Okay.
Oh, don't come from my Wi-Fi.
Hey, before we get too far though, I see you with that Ascension water, but you know the hint water is how we're rolling. But
tell hint hit me up. Tell hint hit me up. They need to sponsor me.
This is what we're
free shout outs.
This is what we're trying to do. We're giving a little free shout out to try to entice Hint into the whole thing we got going here.
Yeah. Nah, tell them boys come hit me up. So I got a few youngsters that's watching you, Jessica. They're like really big fans of you. They're all from PPW Track Club here in Miami.
Okay. Shout out to them. What's going on?
So you got Michael Peoples in there. You got Ives in there. You got who else in this? Rihanna Dukes. Yeah, they're all PPW Track Club kids. That
Very cool.
Big fans of you guys and whatever.
Well, we're trying to.
A big fan of yours.
I'm gonna try to bounce Mike out to see if he can come back in. So let's see if I can knock him out, and then maybe he'll come back. But Jessica, talk to us a little bit about, like you got some young athletes here, that are in the chat. So when you go and do clinics and things like that with young athletes, what is it that you can impart in kind of a short amount of time with young athletes when you meet them?
I think it's really important to be a student of the sport, whether that's you watching your own film, whether that's you studying the sport and seeing who is out there that might have the same body composition as me, that might start like me, that might finish like me. Learn what they've done. I think the biggest thing though is really trusting and believing their coaches. I see so many kids, social media has a lot of kids like, oh, I saw this person doing X, Y, and Z. I want to do X, Y, and Z. But I feel like the success can be in the formula that their coach has planned for them. And that's really, really important to completely buy into the program. And then eventually you say, hey, coach, I did everything you asked me to do. Maybe I didn't see any improvement. What can I change? Whether it's my attitude, whether it's my sleep, whether it's how I train, how I approach training, how I compete, how I approach a competition. Those are all things that we can do as individuals and athletes. And then, we leave the hard stuff, which is to me the coaching, the planning, the periodization, up to our coaches. It's up to us to execute. So, and just remember, have fun. I think there's so much pressure now on younger kids to want to go pro, to run fast all the time, which is really, really hard
Big
to
Mike.
do. And so that would just, Mike, you back.
Facts.
That would just be my advice to the young kids. Enjoy it, but also be students of the sport and really do your part. All the things that you can control, work on them and make them better. So
What do you think about Mike?
okay, Mike, you somewhere.
It seems like we're seeing you blinking, so we want to turn it over to you before we get too far into it. Jessica, do you have a question for Mike to start it off?
Yeah, Mike, you've been in the sport for 10 plus years. Tell us your track story in 60 seconds. Tell us how your longevity. I'm about to start my timer. I don't know if you done started. You got 60 seconds. Oh, you froze.
Big Mike, where you VPN at, dog? We was in Europe together all winter, bro. You was bragging about your VPN. That dog went to Bermuda and forgot about it. Oh, hell nah.
Jinxed itself. You
Hell
jinxed
nah.
yourself.
Facts. Hey, Mike, that's what you get. All that whole 8-hour bus ride in France. You was busting on me for not waiting to watch a damn movie. That's what you get.
We're trying to
So why don't you
troubleshoot on
tell us
our
then,
end.
Zaza?
Yeah, why don't you tell us, Zaza?
Yeah.
Let's get your.
Tell us your track story in 60 seconds. Hold on, I gotta restart the timer because
You
Mike
gonna
is
have to
on.
run that question back because you know what I'm saying Big Mike was busy lagging.
Okay. So you get 60 seconds to tell us your track and field story, how you got started, what got you into running, why you do, what has helped you be able to compete highly on a professional level, which I think a lot of young athletes see professional runners. So, you ready?
Start that timer. Let's go. Let's get
Go.
it. Bet. So like pretty much what got me into running. I grew up in Philly, and in Philly there's a lot of things going on that aren't good or whatever. So pretty much I turned to sports to kind of like get me away from that. And because of that, that helped me learn my passion in football, basketball, and track. Later on down the years, I realized I wasn't getting any taller, and track is the only sport that has an even playing field. So I was just like, you know
Okay.
what, we might as well just focus on track. I was running fast. I made state freshman year, broke the state record by sophomore year. Uh, Went on and then got scholarship to a Division I school. When I went there, all of my teammates, they were all pretty much just like making a national team, and then I got influenced to kind of like try to make a national team and whatever. Went pro after going to Auburn, SEC love, and now we here pro, and with Big Jess no, but you know what I mean. So now we're here pro, and now we're just trying to make the best out of it. You know what I'm saying? Learn from guys and girls like Jess and Mike. Really like do the whole circuit. This indoor. Mike's really been kind of like a mentor to me. So just kind of been picking his brain all of indoor. So it's that's what's making it kind of good.
So you talked about being a multi-sport athlete in high school. Do you think that's still important for kids to do these days. I hear a lot of kids talk about specialization and only focusing on their main sport. You know, people tell you put all your eggs in one basket. What do you think about that? Do you think that you should specialize? Do you think at some point you should specialize? Do you think there's any magic formula to doing to getting, you know, a lot of kids say I want a full scholarship. How do I get there?
I don't think you should specialize in high school. I don't think so. I don't think you should focus on one sport. I think you should be able to be versatile. Like you never know. Like some kids, they're late bloomers. You know what I'm saying? Like for myself, like obviously I hit my growth spurt in like 8th grade, so I was kind of early. You know, there's some people who don't really get as fast as most until like their senior year. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know that until now because you know social media. Social media tells all these days. So I personally don't think that you need to really just focus on one sport. Like this is my sport. Man, if you got a chance to play basketball, play basketball. If you got a chance to play football, play football. However, you know what I'm saying? If you're one of the people who really love track, focus on track. But at the same time, track is going to help you get more in shape for football, get you faster for basketball. Like track is literally the essential sports to all other sports. So if you really focus on, you know what I'm saying? So like if you're a faster track athlete, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna be a faster football player, faster basketball player. So you know what I'm saying? Like, and you in high school too, you gotta have fun. You know, like don't be like me and don't go to prom because I got a state track meet. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like me. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go win New Balance Nationals, so I can't go on no field trips. You know what I'm saying? Like have fun.
I agree with that. You know, I didn't go to my prom, but my prom is during the state meet, and I was trying to become four-time state champ.
You feel me?
My it was during the same weekend. I'm like, prom the day before or state finals. I chose the state finals,
Yo, like
like you
some of the
did
some of the some of the
as
kids
well.
at
But
my school,
I went to,
they drove 4 hours down to
mhm.
to prom and came back 4 hours to run the next morning. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
that's dead.
crazy. Yeah,
I'm
I
not
just
I'm
went to
not doing
somebody
that.
else's prom. I went to
I did
somebody
too.
else's prom. I
I
got
went to
dressed
prom
up.
freshman
I'm
sophomore
like,
year in
hey,
high
I'll
school.
be your date.
I was like that.
Oh, oh wow.
I'm like that.
Okay,
I'm
Mr.
like that.
Foxy. Okay. What's
Hey,
one thing you
listen.
think that
Hey, we all can't look as
what
good as me.
I'm listening?
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Michael have something to say about that, I'm sure, when he comes back, and I'm gonna let him answer that.
Ah!
Um, but what's one thing, you know, we just talked about having fun, being in high school, being a multi-sport athlete. What's one thing you wish somebody would have told you, um, preparing for college, getting ready, you know, looking for the next big stage and seeing big stars? What's something you think that a young student athlete should know that
Yeah,
you
I
wish you
wish
would have
somebody would
known?
have told me not to overtrain. Like I wish somebody would have told me not to try to go work out in basketball shoes. I wish somebody would have told me to hydrate, you know what I'm saying, and not go to the corner store drink like them quarter hugs. You know
Oh
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Man,
stick the thumb
I
in
used
to
to
break
get
it
like I used to
open.
go like, man, you got 75 cents in your pocket, you got like four of them things, man. You know? So I wish somebody would have told me those the small things like stretching, rolling out. Like I would have went
Yeah.
to a track meet 5 minutes before I gotta run. You feel me? Like I wish somebody would have told me that. Like, and I wish somebody would have told me to, ashy, like I got ashy knees. You know what I'm saying? Like bring lotion because when you're in that set position, your knees on the track
Right.
when you
Bring
get up.
lotion and Vaseline. Lotion by itself, my mom would say it don't do the job. So get some Vaseline and mix it in there. You gotta rub it together. Like you said,
The little baby
elbows,
oil, the little
knees,
elbows and
yeah.
popos.
Gotta be shiny. You gotta be shiny. So
Nah,
tell
yeah, man. For real, like on a serious note, like I wish somebody would have told me not to overtrain because one summer, like between sophomore and junior year, when I realized I was actually like on pace. I don't know if you know Eric Futch. You know, what I mean, he was one
mhm,
of my like high
yeah.
school competitors, man, in Philly. You know, so I really wanted to beat Eric that year. So, and Eric had broke the state record, and I ran the same exact time as well. But like, I really wanted to beat him. So, like, in order for me to beat him, I knew I had to learn something. So I would hit up Wayne Davis. Y'all would have been on Wayne Davis. Yeah,
A&M,
I used to
remember
DM on
Aggie?
no, it's not even DM, dog. It was on Facebook Messenger, dog. Way back when I was in high school, dog. Listen, it was MySpace, and I hit him up. I found his
Yeah.
MySpace. bro. I hit that man on Facebook. I was like, yo, Wayne, what can I do to do X, Y, and Z? And Wayne, now that I know, he was bullshitting me. You know what I'm saying? That boy
Can't
was
give you
telling me,
all the cheat codes.
bro, that boy was over there telling me some 12 hurdles at close pace at the highest height. I'm out there. I caught it in the middle of a heat wave, bro. Like imagine 15-year-old me literally hurtling at the highest height in the middle of a heat wave, dog. I found myself in a janitor's closet with a cold rag on my head, passed out.
To vouch for Wayne, though, his work ethic, I mean, he's really like a mechanical type of, he's really getting after. He used to, after weight room, I mean, literally doing hurdles in the weight room. He was like, I need to drill more. I need to drill. Wayne was very,
Dog.
nobody else had to tell him to drill. So I think that was just a part of his MO, and he just felt like you should join the club.
Oh, I joined the club and I paid for it too. I paid for it, but
So
over time, I think athletes we all fall into our own little groups though.
well, you guys touched on something a minute ago. The idea of one, not overtraining, right? And two, I mean, the other thing that I noticed just observing, not being a track guy before I started doing all this, there's so much warming up that you got, like the shakeout day and then the day of the race, and it's like, oh my God, there's so much going on. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't think people have any clue, like, oh yeah, to run that race, this is, you have to get your body all tuned up, right? I mean, ready to go.
For sure. I know when I was growing up, I was like, "Ugh, I cannot warm up too hard. I'm gonna leave my warm up, back there, and I ain't gonna have nothing for the race." So I didn't want to sweat too
Facts.
much. I didn't want to be out of breath
You
too
can
much.
literally leave your race in the warm up.
Yeah. But for me, I think as a high schooler, that was really like a myth. I wasn't warming up that hard. I wasn't really warming up as hard as I thought I was. Like I said, I didn't want to sweat. If I felt like I was sweating, I was like, I ain't gonna have nothing in the race. And I realized and I learned in college, especially with Coach Anderson, you have to prep the body for what you want to do. You can't run at 30% the whole week and then your strides and then expect your body to be able to go 90% or 80%. It's going to be more difficult to do. And so for me, I really had to learn to get into the state of flow and to really listen to my body and realize I was feeling as opposed to what I was doing. And it's something that I'm still, working on as warm-ups change. You need different things at different points. There's some people, I remember Dee Dee Trotter, she's like, my warm-up's 35 minutes. Like I don't need to be out there for an hour. At A&M, my warm-up was an hour and 15 minutes,
Mm.
and so for everybody, I think it's really important to find that sweet spot and what you need and what's going to help you, be at your maximum potential when you need it, which is during the race. If you're a kicker, you want to make sure that, you can kick. If you're a fast starter, you want to make sure you're going to start fast. So I think that's really important to
Zaza,
really know yourself.
does I find that like fascinating, Jessica, because what you're saying is recognize what kind of athlete you are and how you're
Yeah.
executing whatever race. But Zaza, does that apply to hurdles the same way?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a little bit more different. Like, Jessica and them, they be running them long distance 400s and all that unnecessary stuff. Um, I go
But
110
he
meters.
said he competed against Eric Fudge, who did the 400
Yeah,
hurdles.
all right.
So I'm
Don't call me out now.
confused. So did
Don't,
you do? So you did
don't call
300
me.
hurdles?
Hey, that's those are the past days. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you breaking up, Zaza?
That's all right. You're right. All right. I retired from
Oh,
them
Zaza's
days.
gone.
But like
Zaza's
with the hurdles, weapon, y'all can hear me?
I can hear you. So Jessica, we can hear you, and we can hear Zaza, and we can still see you.
Zaza's back.
He always was back on our end.
I ain't go nowhere. It's that I'm telling you, it's that Bermuda Wi-Fi, dog.
It's the it's the Bermuda. So you're saying though,
If
Zaza, that
I'm staying on the screen,
yeah,
but you're disappearing, it gotta be you. No,
Well, he's not disappearing from me though.
Bro, both of y'all on my screen though.
Yeah, you've been on my screen too, Jeff.
is it me? I don't think it's me.
You're fine now. Everything's working.
My screen is what?
You're fine.
Your screen frozen. I'm
Oh.
moving in my. Ooh, I should get this screenshot of you right here. Hold on, hold that. Oh, you
Ah!
gone. I'm sick about it. I'm sick about it, man.
Hey, make that your
I was
screensaver.
about to turn you into a Twitter meme. I was about to
Oh.
turn you into a Twitter meme for sure. For
Oh,
sure. One of
don't
them, what's it called?
don't
The
do
GIF.
it to me.
Yeah, but you said you ran against Eric Fudge. I know he did 400 hurdles. So what you talking about? So if you ran against him, yeah.
All right, but I hung them ropes up like a couple years ago, like 4 years
Okay.
ago. You know what I'm saying? Big Zazie on the 110s things. You get me?
So let me ask you this because Devin was on, Gabby Cunningham was on, and they talked about, I asked them, with the 400, sometimes you say, I don't need that many. I only need a few. As a hurdler, are you a hurdler who needs many races? Do you only need a few? Gabby and Devin said different things. I was like, will you race close to a championship, or are you gonna taper off at some point to get ready? Is it different from is rhythm a really important factor as far as racing? So I know
Yeah.
rhythm is important in hurdles, but is it necessary for you to say, hey, I didn't really feel that good in this last race. I need to feel good in my next race in order to feel ready for a championship or a big meet or something like that.
Honestly, for me, like I'm gonna speak on me first because
Yeah, for sure.
so
This
like
is
for me
about you.
personally, like
Uh-huh.
I am a sprinter who can hurdle because my
Okay.
my background was sprints first. Like I was a
Yeah.
1 and 2, and then I
Hmm.
learned how to hurdle. Right.
Yeah.
So because of that, right? Um, I pretty much my coach and I, Joey Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Joey, so we kind of like uh trying to stay true to my sprinting background.
Okay.
So like I kind of like race like a sprinter. Like sprinters, we go every week.
Yeah.
So pretty much it's like that. So it's like I'm okay. I'm okay with racing, having 2 big races in a week. Like my
Okay.
body can physically handle that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like if you know
Yeah.
Joey, you already know the type of stuff we'll be doing. So
I've been down there. I've been in one of y'all training sessions. I'm doing my own training session, but I seen y'all. I said, Lord
yeah,
bless
yeah,
them.
yeah, 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 yeah. So
Yeah.
so you already you know what I mean. So you already know.
Yeah.
So like you know what I mean. Like all right, we ready for anything. You know what I'm saying? Anything and anyone. So like with that being said, like I'm okay with having 2 big races in the same week. You know what I'm saying? And then coming back and doing the same thing next week.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things. Me personally, I'm okay with racing every week, going, and then having a little 2 week break and then getting right back at it. Now, however, like we'll break it down into sectors. So like maybe say for example, I got 10 races, right? The first 3 would just be just to see where we at.
Okay.
And then the next 3 to make it 6, right, will be okay. Now you know where you at. Now whatever we worked on, we go try to see if we can put it together within these next 3 races, right? And then right, the next 3 to 4 races, now we on the money.
Yeah. So once you feel good, do you feel like you need to go out and race again? Or are you more like, man, I killed that. I just need to go back to
Ain't
training.
no going
'Cause
back. Hey, what you going back for?
to
You
train?
already there. You already there. What you going back for? You know
So
what I
So
you
mean?
need
yeah, so what
Like,
does your training
like.
look like then after you're there? So how do you get to your next race? What do you
I mean, it'd be like, so for example, this is a perfect question that you just asked just now. So, Joey made this call like early on in the season. So like my first race was like January 24th or January 25th over in Manchester, England. And
Mhm.
literally the next race was Manchester and then Germany. We were in Berlin. So like that same week, I had 2 big races. You know what I mean? Like obviously in Manchester was a little chill race of like me and David King, whatever. And then like the next week, I'm racing against William Belosian and like the dudes who like top 3 in the world right now.
Yeah.
And then the next week, I'm over in France with Mike and them, and then with Grant and all of them, and then the next week with Grant and them again. So it's like back to back. So we like, are we on it? What's the whole point of, you know what I mean? And then the following week we were supposed to hit another big race, and then Joey was like, nah, we just gonna rest your body this whole week, just train. And the training was just like tapering, like, all right, we're gonna do like 4 to 10 meters, 3 to 20, and then like one 250, just for good measures. And then we lifted 3 days that week. And then we right back at it. It was like 3 weeks straight. So like at the end of the day, like once my coach Joey sees that we clicking, there's no going back to try to fix or adjust anything.
So
it's
like
more
you said, just
like,
really staying.
Yeah, stay where we at, and then like and then just be patient with it. Whatever we want is gonna come.
And moving forward with what you're trying to do.
Yeah, pretty much.
How do you guys? This is like a simpleton question.
So what made
of a
you
fan.
switch from the short sprints from the 1-2 to the hurdles?
So what happened is like, you know, like my favorite event was always the 200. Oh, like, and I was decent at the 100. You know what I'm saying? Damn, Big Jess gone. Oh,
you gone.
She's back.
You gone. We talking about we gone. And she got. Hey, look, she trapped in that Bermuda Triangle, dog.
Okay. Trying to get y'all to fall in love with it. Click to get your 15% off. You back, Zaza?
I'm here.
we never left.
Don't tell nobody what provider you got down there. They ain't gonna believe you.
I got Metro.
They're not gonna believe you. Whatever provider you got down there is they gonna get on you if you tell us.
Hey, she's trapped in a Bermuda Triangle. She talking about my phone provider. She got jokes. I'm weak. Michael Peoples, man.
That's all right. I got some frozen pictures of you, Zaza.
I like it.
So you said the 200 is your favorite. You said the 200 is your favorite.
Yeah, 200 is favorite mine.
You starting to tell me why? Oh, see, Zaza, you done turned off your camera.
No. I went out.
I think it's just you.
No.
You can't even
blame that specific time I went out. Listen to me. That specific time I went out because somebody called me just now. I had to ignore it.
I'm just gonna start running footage of Mike Rodgers in a second.
Hey, wait, but like, bro, Mike's thing is up there, but his face ain't even on there.
I can't get rid of it, so I think I have to refresh my whole frame to get rid of it, and that means that I'll be gone.
But yeah, just like I was saying, my 200 is always my favorite event, and I had a decent speed. Well, I obviously got good speed in the 100, and I was always and I was really good at the 300 hurdles. But when I got to college, I ain't saying nothing. I was answering your question.
Zaza gone.
I'm not gone. Why you keep saying I'm gone, dog?
This episode should be called the Pop In and Pop Out, the Pop Show.
I think this is going to be called the Bermuda Triangle. I think
all our stars is popping in.
We got the ghost of Mike Rodgers up top here, right, Zaza? We have Jess, who's here mostly.
That's right.
We
can hear you the whole time, but you can't hear us sometimes.
Yeah. I think we should see in these chats and get some questions from some of these people in the chats. Yeah, because they just been commenting.
It's very interesting what's going on here. I'm gonna ask Mike where he is located tomorrow, because clearly he's either where a lot of other people are, and there's maybe not a lot of people, or he is in a secluded. He might be in a private island of Bermuda. He might got the luxury suite, and it's costing him his Wi-Fi.
Let's take some questions though.
I'm putting in here.
Zaza tried to say he had 5G. This can't be 5G. It must be 5G.
I got
LTE.
13. You heard? I got 13. You heard?
5G, no LTE. Because 5G by itself, it's not that good. I don't know if anybody.
I got AT&T Wi-Fi.
When it don't say 5G LTE, you should be a little concerned, because it's gonna be a lag for sure. For sure.
Well,
bro,
clearly we have to be going after. We have to be going after provider.
For sure. Hey, that's what we got to get next. I don't know who wanna
Yeah.
who really got the fastest out here. We gotta figure it out because they talk about different coverage. The coverage ain't I don't know where Zaza at, but we gotta ask him privately. I don't want no defamation of character because Zaza did all he talked about Mike and look what happened. So I need to stop talking about Zaza.
I know. I think we're jinxing him. No, he's taking another call.
Yeah. Jessica's
I
teammate.
know he knew we had an appointment. He should have made his appointment. Let's see. I'm seeing some questions. Let me
Did you
try
see any yet?
Let's see.
I
Yo,
see.
you
Oh,
guys see me?
Wellington's giving.
Yeah,
Is
we
that a
see
5?
you.
Did people laugh at your
For
last
real?
name? I'm sure that's for Zaza.
Yeah, yo, it's Jessica's teammate fault. Dog,
Is that
he
for
just
Zaza?
FaceTime.
I think his name's
Oh,
pretty cool. I
Did
was gonna
people
say,
laugh at your last
is
name, Zaza?
there a significant meaning?
oh wait, that's a question to me.
Yes.
Nobody laughs at my last
Man.
name.
He got
If
to
they
talk to
do,
me about those Liberian uniforms as well too.
Ooh,
hey
yeah.
yo,
That's actually good. Yeah.
That looks really,
hey,
really,
them things
really
kind of
cool.
swagged out. You feel me?
Dang, Zaza, get your internet back, man. Does that mean 5 minutes?
Man.
Pause. Like, what's the little hand up mean? Like, what does that mean, Zaza?
Hey, add John F.
Dang.
Literally let John F. be the thing.
All right, we'll try to bring John into the show.
Yeah, let John. That's me. I'm John F.
You're John F. What?
Yeah.
Let's see. Who is faster? Hello. Probably between him and Mike.
No, I had to get off that. Like.
Yeah, let me try to get rid of that. Oh my.
Yeah,
right.
I'm John F. Get at me.
He's back.
Boy.
He's back.
How you gonna say watch this and then your screen go black?
Bro, first of all, keep watching this.
we can now. How are you, John F?
Yo, stop playing with me. Told you, stop. Hey, stop.
How are you, John F? Who is John F? That's the.
I don't know. I made that up just now. Because you was coming from my 5G, dog. Look, what they say?
But it ain't LTE. That's 937.
Bro, it say 5G LTE. What you talking about?
No, it don't. And ain't no LTE there. Ain't no LTE.
Bro, I got 4 bars, dog.
No
Hey,
side.
we got to get back to real questions while we're all talking to one another.
All right, bet. All right, for sure.
Sorry.
So,
That's Sammy.
Hi, Sammy.
800-meter specialist. Okay, so who is faster between you and Mike?
Oh, who's faster between me and Mike?
That's what the kids want to know, man.
Oh, Mike for sure faster, but a few good for some.
Because you faster than him in the hurdles, though. You got to let the kids know. Mike
But look, listen. I caught Mike on like 2 practice runs. That's it.
Zaza.
A win is a win, baby.
All right, Zaza, you see this question? What are y'all? Basically, what do you have in your mind, right? When the race is about to start, what are you guys thinking about?
Jess, you go first.
I try not to think about too much. I feel like if my mind is racing and thinking about a lot of things at once, that doesn't really necessarily help me. I try to just think of my cues, how I want to start, and how I want to finish. So many different things can happen in 400 meters. And so, you got 7 other ladies who are out there. Some of them are sprinting past, some of them are a little slower, they're better finishers. So those are all things that I'm aware of when I'm running. So I just try to remember my race strategy and the cues that I need to be successful. So
what about
you,
Zaza?
For me, I pretty much just thinking about executing. You know what I mean? Like the work has already been put in at practice. So for me, when I approach the meet, I just think about just executing from the start to finish, really, because I know the better I execute, the faster I'll run. So I don't really think about trying to run a fast time. Like
That's true.
Executing is really all I think about. Like, I just running back in my head, you know what I mean? When I get in the blocks, when the person says, runners of your mark, I just tell myself, all right, Za, let's execute and let's be great.
Do you say the same things to yourself when you get in the blocks like that?
No, I do not. It depends on the race. You know, every race is different. You gotta approach every race differently. You know what I'm saying? Like a race where, you know what I mean, it's like a local race. You kind of like are more fixated on the proper execution in each different sectors of the race. And then there's a race where like, oh, it's a race. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference between a race and a race. A race is where like we gotta get on. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get on. Now the mental talk goes from let's execute into, for me personally, it goes from let's execute and stay patient. You know what I mean? Like, cause hurdlers, all hurdlers, you know what I mean? We tend to get into, all right, you want to race? Let's go. And then it goes into being one of those things where like, oh, so and so is right next to me. So now all of a sudden I get it locked in his rhythm, or she gets it locked in her rhythm, or you know what I mean? And now we both crashing over the hurdles, hitting hurdles, and now it becomes a situation where whoever holds that composure the most wins the race.
Is there something for you, Jessica, that's like that? That's interesting, where you kind of get locked in the rhythm of someone else sometimes.
I try
Excuse me?
not to. I try not to. I think unless I get to a certain point where I feel like I can finish or kick and I'm willing to go toe to toe with somebody in my finish, I will say that my last race against Shamir, once she came on the inside of me, I was like, go with her. And we weren't exactly locked in, but I mean, we were toe to toe for 140 meters of the race. And so I do think in the 400, there are instances where you realize this person's making a move. I'm going to take that risk if the move is a little early. Or for me, the biggest part is I actually am like, I have a mark. I'm not trying to go before my mark. I don't want to go 20 meters before my mark because my coach always says
Patience.
if you go, make sure you can finish. And so that's really important to me. I don't really think, so many people run the 400 different ways that I try not to think about somebody else's rhythm, because somebody who is a fast starter, if they feel, especially if you have rounds, I guess that's the difference between the hurdles. I can what's the word I'm looking for? Somebody might go out slower than they normally would. So I don't want to get on their
Yeah, you
rhythm
don't want to match their rhythm.
if I'm not necessarily a person who goes out slow.
Right. So
So
you just gotta set the precedent and stay within your own temperament, pretty much.
for sure. And I believe that rounds really show us that. You see people running, you say, oh wow, they got out slow. And then as you see the rounds progress, you see a different strategy. So to me, the 400 is more about strategy, and who's as it is about rhythm, but I think it's very much about strategy. And it's different in the hurdles. I like watching the hurdles. Well, I like watching them anyway. But when somebody is like neck and neck,
Yeah.
but they're like opposite trail leg, opposite lead leg,
Yeah,
so they're
yeah,
like, oh, I'm
yeah.
like,
That's
how did
funny you
I
said
get
that,
into rhythm that is the
bro.
opposite? I was like, that's so funny because I'm like, oh, is
Yeah.
their arm about to hit? They arm, they leg gonna hit that.
So my training partner, Nick Anderson, Nick is the left lead leg, and I'm a right lead leg. So at practice, I always like to go on the opposite side of him so I can get in the
Yeah.
habit of training like that. Because I will say he's a better technical hurdler than I am. Like he really has one of the cleanest forms in the country, like in the world, like literally like
Yeah.
cleanest. That boy don't touch a hurdle. His hips don't move. It don't drop. It stay there from America to Jamaica. Like they don't move. You feel me? So like being that I am not as technical over the top as he is, like, but I'm faster than him on the flat. Like I try my best to not get locked into his rhythm, like you were saying. It's like so
Yeah.
funny because it's like I get in the habit of doing this, get doing this, and and then he's like moving away, and I'm like, oh no, come here. And then we move it. It's like it's one of those situations where at practice, all you would see is this, and then this. You know what I mean? Like he'll pull away, and I get him on the ground, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta be patient. Once again, go back to patience, like you were saying. You know, we all have our mark.
Yeah.
Like your mark might in a 400 might be okay. I gotta give it the last 125, 130. You know what I'm saying? Based on how you know how I'll be watching you set your 400, you'll be easy coming like 20 something, 20 mid 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like for your first two, and then give it the last 160. See, for me, like since I am a sprinter, like I treat the first three hurdles like a dry phase, and then the middle part is where I really have that turnover, and then hold on for the last three. You know what I'm saying?
I'm working on being a sprinter this year, Zaza. Just so you
Oh, hey,
know.
I see the knee. I see the knee ash, dog. I see the knee ash.
Yeah. So my knee gonna be ashy. So I'm gonna have the Vaseline in the bag, man. Knee gonna be
Hey,
ashy for sure.
I see. Hey, we got. Hey, next time I see you, I got some Vaseline for you, dog.
Okay, I appreciate that. I like the. I don't like. I just like the one with the blue top. I don't want no
Yo,
cocoa butter
all
top in
day.
mine. Okay, cool.
That's all day.
This
Hey,
is
Michael
like
said.
off topic. This is off
Michael
topic,
Peoples. What's up?
but we asked Devin and Gabby also would they prefer as a hurdler headwind or tailwind.
I like headwind. Give,
Yeah, you know
give
that's
me
the
that headwind.
consensus. That's the
Yeah, that
consensus.
is. Yeah.
Give
They
me the
said that
headwind.
tailwind they don't like that it's pushing them.
Because you got to think. So as a hurdler, right, your trail leg is what makes your hips shift forward. So imagine you got 10 barriers. Every time you bring that trail leg through, your hips are shifting forward, and then you got somebody pushing you behind you, or the wind pushing you behind. So you got to really like almost step on the brake every time. You got 2.5 steps to make it, and you got
Yeah,
point.
they said they start like shuffling like they
Yeah.
turn into
So
like a.
and in between the hurdles, you have 0.89 to 1.0 to make the decision how
Oh
fast you want to move.
wow.
That's how it is. So he said, how do you get the mindset to run through the hurdles and not hit it?
No, but before that, Michael Peoples asked
Yeah.
before a race, what do you do to get rid of a cramp? Well, but it's kind of late if you
Kinda
if
late,
you get
bro.
it in the race. You really should hydrate some type of electrolytes. I think that's really
The night
important.
before, Mike.
And cramps are people get cramps for different reasons. Sometimes people are getting cramps because the muscle is fatigued. Sometimes people are getting cramps because they didn't hydrate properly. So let me tell you, when you got that Charlie horse, you don't want to move. You just hoping that person apply that pressure to that spot, and just depending on what it is. If you got to run another race, don't put no ice. I was gonna tell you put some ice, but you got another race. Your coach gonna be upset, and you don't put no ice.
Like factual.
Hey, Jess,
Yeah.
you did mention hydrate, so
Yeah, bro.
Hello.
Hey, Jeff, tell
Why
them,
y'all
tell them folks about to sponsor us, dog.
look? I told while y'all was gone, I was telling the people click to save 15%
yeah,
on hemp water while y'all was gone. You know, it's not sugar. I think that's very important. Whatever
it's not
you
sugar.
do
Yeah,
get to hydrate,
And that
make
boy
sure
sipping.
that it
He's sipping.
it
He's
doesn't have a
sipping.
lot
He's
of
sipping.
sugar. Because salt and sugar do the same things. Salt and sugar do the same things. You don't want a lot of salt. You don't want a lot of sugar. So be
Factual.
mindful of look at the carbohydrates. They always say added sugar. Look, that number is important, or that percentage is important. Try to have
That
things.
15% in it.
Yeah, look, try to get out of them double digits if you can. So you said
Yeah.
okay. Now back to the question you was reading, Zaza.
You said how do you get the mindset to run through the hurdle and not hit it or fall? Um, to be honest, hurdles is you got to think of hurdling as a controlled aggression. Like Joey always say, reckless endangerment. Like you got to be reckless and put yourself in danger, but learn how to control yourself in danger. It's like fight or flight. You get thrown in the deep end, you can't swim, you're gonna panic, you're gonna drown. So it's one of those things where it's like you see the hurdles, just run. It's like you playing
What do
tag,
you do when you hit a hurdle?
you keep moving.
What do you,
No, like when you hit a hurdle, you gotta realize are the hurdle race is an unforgiving race, first of all. So if you throw a pity party for yourself when you hit a hurdle, you already out the race.
Hmm.
See what I'm saying? So like it's not like a 400 where like, oh, I'm about to catch lactic, so I'm gonna just I could try to hang on somebody's coattail and then they're gonna drag me through. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Hurdles, when you hit a hurdle and you lose your momentum, you get left.
Hmm.
you have one, like the slow is probably 1.2 seconds, 1.3 seconds at max to make a decision if you want to bail out or if you want to go. That's barely enough time to even sneeze. You see what I'm saying? So if you hit a hurdle, you hit one, you got 9 more to go. You hit 2, you got 7 more to go. You got 3, you know what I mean?
Hey,
So it's one of those things where you gotta like realize, okay, you hit one, you gotta keep moving because you got more to go.
bye, Michael. Michael
Oh
gotta go
yeah,
to bed. I
you
feel
do.
him.
I feel you too. Michael Peoples is he's one of the brightest kids here in Miami, man. He goes to a very, very good charter school here in Miami.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, education. Let me tell you, that's gonna take you
Boy,
far.
hey, that boy in middle school taking high school classes. Whole time.
Hey,
Wow.
cool. That's how if you a genius, just say that. If you a genius, just give it.
Hey,
The boy's a genius. Just say that.
he is a genius.
Look, he about to go get the mind ready for tomorrow. He getting the mind because tomorrow's Friday. I
It
feel you,
is
Mike.
Friday.
That's you see, and that's how you win. You say, you know what, I want to be a part of something. I contribute as much as I can, and guess what? Now I gotta do what's best for me. Hey, we appreciate you. Thanks for joining the world's greatest. We gonna see next time. I want to know how you do too. Tell me how Michael do, cause you said
Got you. I
you
keep you updated for
okay.
sure.
Appreciate that.
This is like some knowledge going down right here, Jessica. This is like
Yeah, man. Hey,
John
Big Jess
F.
get you right now.
John
Mm.
F is doing a great job as well.
Man, John F is John Effing right now, dog. Keep on John Effing, my
Shout
G.
out to John F.
He's
Dropping
out.
Hey,
us with
shout out to that boy, man. That's my alter
the
ego.
nuggets, man, the wisdom
Jessica,
nuggets.
when you say super gremlin,
There you go.
hey, John F could have been a superstar.
Okay. But he out here doing what? Going.
Hey,
He better not.
he
He
better
better not.
not.
He better not.
He better not. Hey.
So tell us what your last in these last few minutes, like your goals for this year. Like what do you want to accomplish? What do you want to do? What's important to you to get done on the track?
Track wise, honestly, I don't like to cap myself on like what I want to do, like time
Okay.
and all those type things.
It don't have to
But
be a time.
I do know the grand
Okay.
scheme of things. You know what I mean? Like I think it's time personally to get into history books.
Okay.
Like when I say history books, like I run for Liberia, so like what indoors I tied the African record,
Okay.
but I broke the national
Congratulations.
record a few times. So I think I know it's time to really really elaborate on all of the solid work me and Joey put in versus indoor. You know what I mean? Because we did come from a long way. Like I joined Joey by like right before the pandemic, like a week before the pandemic, and I freaked out like. And I came to Joey like I was as small as I am. I'm 5'9.5", 5'10" in height, 6'2" on a good day. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay. Come through
You feel
6'2".
so yeah. I was 6'2", 200 pounds.
Right. Period.
5'9", 200 pounds though.
Okay.
So you know what I mean. So I was pretty big. So you know what I mean. Like we came through a process, man. Like to get where we are right now in terms of losing weight and getting more tone and whatever. Because I had actually fell into relapse, man. Like going back to the 400 hurdle scheme, and
You miss
Kristen
them?
Warren. Hmm?
You miss them?
I did at the moment,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Until Kristen Warham and Ryan Benjamin on boys set it off, and I was like, nah, it ain't for me. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
And you know what I'm saying? I came through, bro. I was getting my head blown out by Ebony and all of them, you know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
the 150s, 200s, and then
Okay.
I was like, man, so it was a process, So like my main goal, back to the main point, my main goal this year is, is to try to get in the history books, you know what I mean, and compete and just be the best version of me for real. Because
Yeah.
like I said, I've came a long way. Now things are starting to look on the up and up. So right now, I feel like right now is the time for me to really, really get back on the scene. You know what I mean? Because I never
Mhm.
left from the scene, but I just was just like incognito. You know what I'm saying? Um, so now it's time to get back in the books. You know what I mean? And compete at the highest level. You know what I mean? I showed that indoor this year. So this year, I think we're just gonna do the same thing outdoor. Get whatever time. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a good year. Like for me, the main goal is execution. Like I
Okay.
know once I execute my race, my race strategies and race patterns, and from point A to point B, I feel like I'm one of the best in the world.
Period.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
What are
And
your goals for the year, Big Jess?
You know,
Talk to us.
I got some big goals. The biggest one for me is just a sub 50 goal, but also, like you said, I'm not, when I step out there and I run, I'm not like, I have to run sub 50 this race, or I have to, I have to achieve
But
my
you know
goal
you
this race.
can.
It's, I can, but
Right.
that can't be my focus. Like you said,
Exactly.
execution has to be my focus. And so that's really my biggest goal at the moment. That's going to lead me to the other goals that I have. And so, of course, making the team individually, that's
That part.
important to me to do as
That part.
well. I did it indoor. My plan is to do it outdoor. And I love that I am competing for the hardest team to make. It just makes everything that much sweeter when you do accomplish something, because you know how hard it was to reach and achieve your goal, and how hard it is, just and how deep the field is in the 400 meters for the US especially. It just lets you know that, you know, you're on the right track, and you're doing all the energy and things you put into it. You get rewarded for that. So that's what that feels like to me, a bonus on top of why I'm doing what I'm doing. So those are my biggest goals as of now, and everything that I'm doing and changing and adapting to this year is around that goal. More speed, like I said, working on my start. I'm so
Big
mad at
stuff
myself
like
for
Big
pushing
Jess.
away sprints when I was in college, thinking like, give me them. I was telling some of the I was telling the twins that I was like, I used to be like, give me the meat and potatoes, coach. Give me the 4-3-2-1. Like, don't nobody want to do
Nice,
10,
right?
20, 30. Like, okay, save that for another day. And now I'm like, I told them, I'm like, you're moving your head first, girl. Move keep your head straight. Keep your head still. So it's really a process that I'm enjoying, being a more seasoned vet in the game. And so, like I said, I'm just really enjoying it and pushing myself mentally, physically, but also being smart about training and competing. And so I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about what's to come. So
So yeah, that's awesome, damn. So now we got like what 98 more days until like whatever. How you
I
feeling about
know.
that? Talk to me. Talk to me about that.
Let me tell you, I don't even
Mike
think
finally did.
that far. Mike died.
Now he did.
Oh.
Finally. We don't know what happened.
I think it's exciting that Worlds gets to be on
Oh
US
man.
soil. I've made 5 teams, and they've all been in different places: Berlin, uh, Daegu, South Korea, Beijing, Doha. So I think it's really cool that, don't have to get on a, well, I don't know, traveling to Eugene is like traveling on a
In the
line.
in the in
But
the in the perfect world, right? In a perfect
yeah,
world. What
but
does you sorry to cut you off. In a perfect week, in a perfect world, in a perfect moment. What does Eugene look like for Jessica Beard?
look like I win it. I mean, that's what
Ah!
happens to me. I'm
Dang
like,
it. Hey,
girl,
come on, come get this crown, girl. Come get this crown. Come get this crown.
I mean, I feel like that always has to be the goals. And like I was telling people, as an athlete, you can't focus on the probabilities. You just have to focus on the possibilities. What can
Gotcha.
possibly happen in this moment with this opportunity on this stage? And so for me, and I believe every athlete, their goal is always to win. Like that's the major part of it. Like yes, you want a PB, you want to run fast, but you want to win. And maybe for other athletes, I'm not gonna say 100%, but maybe 98% of athletes, winning is a major part of it. And for me and my story, that's what I would want. And also, like I said, I've never made a final at a world championship. So I have, like I said, there's different goals that I have that are going to help lead up to that point. So that's important. So, of course, being smart, running around, getting there first. That's
We're gonna get there.
that's the main part. That's the main part for sure. So yeah, and just having the confidence to do it and to take risks. I think that's really important to, I feel like a lot of times I'm more cautious. Like you said, I'm like, let me wait till my mark. But just like I felt in that race against Shamir, I was like, if I die, I die. I'm like,
Yeah,
whatever
we
happens,
say charge you gonna charge that bit to the game.
yeah, hey. And I rather said, you know what, I tried and it didn't work than, oh, I wish I would have tried. I'm tired of that story for myself. Like, "Ah, I wish I would have did this. I'm done wishing. I'm just taking risks at this point. So
I love this quote so much that I put it in the chat so
Yeah,
everyone
man.
can see it.
Can't focus on probabilities, focus on the possibilities. I like that.
yeah,
I like it.
Right? So
Picasso.
what you're saying is you're eliminating kind of preconceived notions
yeah,
and maybe limits that you're putting on yourself
yeah,
or other people are putting on you. And really it is I'm capable of anything
yeah,
at any given time, right?
yeah, for sure. You never know what the moment could bring you the opportunity, but you have to release whatever like sometimes on paper, sometimes on, we talk about papers, talk about stats, we talk about all these things all the time. You talk about some people's like, oh well, you only did this, or you only come in running like this fast, or you only, and I feel like time and time again these competitions have shown us, it's gonna go to the people. I don't even want to say that they're most prepared, because I think a lot of people do prepare well, but it's gonna go to those people who did decide to take a risk, and they focused on things that they could control rather than things that they couldn't. So
That is true. Yeah, man. Like I definitely agree with that. Like I've been on both sides of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been unprepared and then I've been prepared. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like my last season after college 2017, I wasn't prepared. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was
mm,
bouncing around coach to coach, trying to figure out what coach is right for me. If I wanted to do 400 hurdles or do 110s, you know what I mean? Like I done dropped the 20.6. Now I think like I'm a short sprinter and hurdler, just trying to find myself, man. So I was kind of lost for like 2 seasons. So when I would show up to the meet and I would come up very short, you know what I mean? Like for example, you know what I mean? This is real life stats, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm racing against the guys who are running 13.3, 13.4, and I'm not training for like weeks at a time, showing up 13.5. You see what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
So I'm unprepared, but I'm still there. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Versus you said, you know what I mean? Like those who took risks. I was one of them dudes who took risks
yeah,
without not training and showing up to the meet. So I was unprepared while taking risks, and it was showing some signs of like capabilities. Now I'm prepared. Like my risk is has to be much more deeper than when I was unprepared.
yeah,
Is you know what I'm saying? Because then now it's calculated risk. Like you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
there's a difference between taking a risk and then calculated risk. Calculated risk is like, all right, yo, fuck it, we ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? You got to that's how I gotta be. You gotta say
yeah,
after we ball. Like and if you shoot, what they say, shoot for the stars and chill with the moon or something like that, or
yeah,
what
yeah.
some big something like that,
You got to be like Kobe when he told him, I'm not passing y'all the ball, none of this game. So don't
bro.
look for me. I'm
At
taking
all.
all the shots. I'm taking
Hey,
all the shots, and that y'all just gonna have to
teammates who?
live with it. Hmm?
Teammates who? Teammates who?
Yeah.
That's like you feel me? So you know what I'm saying? You gotta be your point guard, you gotta be your center, you gotta be your coach, you
Yeah,
gotta be
for sure. You got to
you gotta
show up
be
for
the
you.
GM.
You
Yeah,
got to
you gotta
show up for you. You got to. You
do
deserve.
it.
You deserve that much. You deserve for you to show up how
You
you
gotta
how you need. What you
gotta
need
see
is
it through, my
important
boy.
that you provided. So
You
So
gotta
what do
see
you
it.
guys do? I know we're running late, and Jess, you got to get to bed. You're an hour ahead of us. But what I did. So on that topic, though, how do you keep? What's the mindfulness that you guys kind of employ on yourself to show up for you? What kind of um, do you meditate? Do you what kind of things do you do for yourself to say, hey, this is one of the key things that I'm doing, so I'm showing up for myself.
I would say affirmations for me, or just journaling. Reaffirming things that I believe in the midst of, like I said, whatever probabilities. It's just like, you deserve to be here, and you've worked
That
hard to
part.
be here, and you deserve to give yourself well, in taking the opportunity, you deserve to showcase what it is that you put so much of your energy and your time and your focus into. So just making sure that I do show up for myself, and that it's not saying that it's not about anybody else, but I know a lot of times things can turn into about other people, whether you want to prove them wrong, whether you want to shut them up, whether you want to
That be me.
make them happy. People who love you, people who support you, you want to give them something to clap and cheer for. All those things are great, but they shouldn't be greater, in my opinion, than the things that you want to do for yourself. Like I said, I have goals that I want to achieve for myself just because I believe I can do them. And so I want to see them done. And so I need to try my best and hardest to make those things that I'm working so hard towards become a reality. So I owe that to myself. And so by affirming and just showing up and having people hold me accountable, because it does get hard sometimes as an athlete. Sometimes I'm crying, like, oh my God. It's like, you asked for this. I'm like, I know, I'm about to get on the line. Don't worry about it. So, all of that is, I'm glad to have a system, I think, in place where I'm affirming myself and it's intrinsic, and then other people are helping hold me accountable, which is extrinsic. So,
Man,
Zaza.
that no, that's real though. That's real. Like us athletes, we are the only ones that really see the picture. That what I'm saying, and our coach is there to be on the side of us to help us paint this picture that we see. What I'm saying, and then at the same time, your coach, he or she, they got their own pictures of for you.
Yeah.
So then what I mean. So that's where what I mean. Like she said, you got to have some affirmations. Like what I'm saying, like you have to have a system. Like me and my dog Joey, man, we cool in a sense of like we kind of like see the same kind of picture. His picture is a little bit more, a little 3D. Mine a little bit blurry, what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, like his goal, man, is to always be the best coach out there. What I'm saying? Even if he's not the most well-known coach, he will not be outcoached. That's his philosophy. And like for me, that's enough affirmation as to being in the right place. Because if my coach won't let up, why the fuck should I let up? You know what I mean? Like if my coach ain't gonna stop putting his foot on these coaches' necks, why should I stop putting my foot on old boy's neck that's lining up next to me? You know what I'm saying? It's like that's enough affirmation for me in general to kind of like motivate me. Say, okay, cool. If I'm having a bad day, Joey would come over, like, listen, you know what I mean? Like, if you know my coach is very inspirational. Like he got any words, what I'm saying, for anybody who's doing that different times. So like just say, like you just have to affirm yourself. And then for me personally, since I'm a hurdler, like I need it visually. You know what I'm saying? Like just because my coach is telling me is this, and this, you know what I mean? Like I personally have to see it for myself. And that means we gotta attack it at practice. And if I visually see it done at practice, then I'm like, oh yeah. So I see the picture. I mean, it might be a little stick figure, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but I see what you're saying. You know what I mean? So like whenever you got a system like Jessica said, you know what I'm saying? Like people constantly reminding you, like, yo, you good. You good. And you personally don't think you're good. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always refreshing for those who see it differently than you do to kind of like let you know why they see it. You know what I mean? Because anybody can be yes men and yes women. Like, oh yeah, just you know what I mean. You made many USA teams. Yeah, you good. You gonna bounce back. That's bullshit. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want nobody to just be a yes man or yes girl around me because that's fake. You know what I'm saying? Like, you leading me down to a path to get my head blown off. You feel me? So like,
I want
it's
my
like
head right.
you feel me? You need your head, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, why do you think? Like, my thing is, you know what I mean? Like, why do you think that that I'm okay? Why do you think that I'm on a good path? Why? Like, there's always a constant why with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't give me a solid reason and you dance on my question, I don't believe that. That's part of my visuals. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, that's how I go about my days, my practices. Like, all right, Joey, I challenge Joey. As hard as that sounds, like, I challenge Joey. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Joey would give me the paper. He's like, all right, stop. We got this, and this. And I'm like, all right, coach, I ain't feeling it today. He'd be like, why? And I'm like, because this, and this. He'd be like, nigga, get your ass on the line. You feel me? But like, you feel me? And like get your ass on the line. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? That whenever I do the first rep, then you'll come over and be like, all right, cool. Talk to me. And then we'll break it down and he'll be like, all right, cool, we're gonna make modifications. You know what I mean? And that's a coach who sees the picture, wants to affirm you that you're capable of pushing past that barrier because you come to practice mentally effed up from having a long night or not eating properly, or you know what I'm saying? Like right
Shout
now,
out to our coaches.
Yo, shout out to them boys, man, because them boys they be tired as hell going to bed 2, 3
We
o'clock.
appreciate you.
Damn, Jessica ass ain't want to do a 200 today. You know what I'm saying? She come dragging in with her little.
No, my coach ain't gonna not let me run though. I just take what's on the paper because the alternative is worse. So
yeah,
shout out to Coach Gary, Coach Tom, Coach Taylor, Coach Islam, all my coaches that
like you know them boys,
day in
them
and
boys
day
they
out.
listen. Yeah, them boys they listen, man. You know, shout out to them boys.
Appreciate y'all. So
yeah,
this is like fascinating, but I do think we got to wrap it up because I know you're both in competition mode. And but before we wrap it up, let's do a super quick what were you thinking question. Jess, do you have one for Zaza? I have a thought if you can't come up with one.
Okay, that will help.
Okay, so well, Zaza, you represent Liberia, so in the first competition that you represented, you know, your country, what were you thinking?
Honestly, what was I thinking? I was like, damn, yo, I don't represent the U.S. You feel me? That's what I was thinking. Hey, I was like, hey, I don't represent the U.S. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I mean? All I got to do is pretty much zone in on myself and then run the standard, and I'm gone. That's what I was thinking. You know,
that's real.
That is real.
That's real. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah, that's all I know. To keep it a buck. You know, so when I was really thinking that, I was like, oh dang. Because I was born and raised in Liberia, you know, it was like, so like now to actually compete for my country, it's like, yo, like it's like an honor. That's what I was thinking. Like, okay, cool. I really wanted to run for USA, like, you know what I mean, like make the senior teams, whatever, you know what I mean, like World Juniors, all that. That was all cool. But when I finally got the green light to run for Liberia, I was like, yo, I see y'all boys on the other side.
That is too funny.
What do you, Zaza? What do you have for Jess on the what were you thinking question?
All right, Jess. All right. Dang, that's a good one. Because I watched so many of your races, dog, and I'm like, dang, let's go cold, but all right. Hey, dang, yo, it's so many moments I'm just thinking, I'm like, yo, this she's a dog. All right. Beijing, right?
Okay.
She a little nervous, huh? Nah, like what were you, all right, so when you was approaching Beijing, coming out that tunnel, what were you thinking before your race?
Look, Beijing's another story. I really can't even talk. That's a story for another day. But
Make that, hey, cut it down. What did they say, 60 seconds?
all I'm gonna say is I almost didn't run.
Clock. Ready,
I almost
go.
didn't run that day.
Really?
I'm trying to tell you, I was thinking about staying in bed, not getting up and running. You know, had a incident with some of my other teammates, and I didn't know if I should show up in that way, even on a world stage. And you know, I realized I need to put my pride aside. And
Yeah, true.
I got out there and
That boy Fred.
I represented for my country bigger than whatever moment or incident I had with, you know, a teammate. And so, you know, that's what I was thinking, you know, was my pride shouldn't be bigger than this moment.
Facts. Yeah.
I shouldn't let a moment affect other people and what they worked hard for, just like me, you know, jeopardizing that. So that was really a learning moment and a moment for me to really mature because I could have showed up in a different way or not showed up at all.
Right.
So,
Facts. Hey.
Yeah.
Be the bigger person.
Well, you know, I don't know if I would say that. Also, you don't want to go out there and run slow. I mean, nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, you was mad at somebody." They're gonna be like, "Why did
You
you
went word
run?"
relays, isn't it? You went word relays, right?
Hmm. When?
You went. I was asking a question.
Oh, World Relays. Which one?
Bahamas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
2014.
Okay. Yeah. What was your famous like your favorite moment at word relays in Bahamas?
You
What was you
know, I was the one who gave them that idea of the
with the thing,
Harvey
right?
Oh, you
Angels,
did?
and I ain't getting no
Yeah,
credit
yeah,
for
yeah,
that, but
yeah.
that's
So
cool. I
yeah, I
just
was
want
about
to
to
be.
ask.
I just want to say
What
that
was you thinking?
because they end up doing it later. I think at the Olympics,
They
which is
did.
cool. They don't got to give me
Yeah.
no credit, but that's where it originated at the World Relays because they was like, "What pose can we do?" And I was like, "We should be Charlie's Angels, even though it's four of us." And so
Oh, we
that's
got the scoop right there.
what. So
Ooh.
I was thinking about Austin Powers and Beyonce, Charlie's Angels. Come on, dum. So when y'all see it, I hope y'all think about that when y'all see the Charlie's Angels. You know, y'all think about Austin Powers. So
That's gonna be
yeah.
forever my image.
Totally.
Forever.
What's
The
up, Sam?
USATF and your Angels. Starring Jessica Biel. Just put your head
Thank
on
y'all
everybody's
so
body.
much. Just put it on there, or put my hands on different people's things.
Thanks.
You know, I go down, I go up, I go high. So yeah, I've been thinking about Sammy this whole time. I said, I know she's trying to sleep.
Who your roommate?
I appreciate her. Shout out to Sammy. So
Sammy.
shout out to her for
A
being a
quiet
trooper.
shout out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another Aggie. You know the Aggies. You
Hey,
know the Aggies.
okay, okay,
Do you know
Sammy.
any other
Hey,
Sammy?
Sammy
Is
cold,
there
dog. She
another
cold.
Sammy? No, there's not.
It's
It's
not.
just
Nah, Sammy
this one.
cold.
Shout out to the Aggies.
We
You
got
know,
another Aggie right here in
Yeah,
Fred.
Fred Curly.
Fred.
thanks and gig 'em. Oh, don't be like that. Don't be like that. Don't be like that,
It's
Zaza. Thanks and gig
Gig
'em.
'em Ag-
Whoop.
Yeah.
And gigging them is very. Look up that Zaza if you don't know what that means. You too, Bob. Look
What,
up
gig
what
'em?
gigging them means. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
gonna
about to
tell
look it
y'all.
up.
We'll talk about it on Monday.
Okay.
Well, Zaza, you join them once you look it up, and Bob, you tell them once y'all learn.
Gig 'em Aggies. The hand
Yes,
sign is
learn what that
closed
means.
fist with a thumb up. The hand sign tradition got its start in 1930 to yell practice before a game against TCU. Pinky Down, class of 1906, was a member of the A&M Board of Regents and gave a speech asking the Aggies what they were going to do to the Helm Frogs.
Uh-oh.
So what does it mean?
You stick a
I don't know.
fork knife through the horn
I don't
frog
know, bro.
to kill it.
I don't
You
know.
stick the
Oh,
Oh,
you
yeah.
you
oh
stick the
okay.
fork knife through the
Oh,
horn frog.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, we're ending on an ugly note.
Because
Oh,
Thanks
boy
and
got a
gig 'em.
bib on his old boy got a bib on his cowboy suit, no?
Thanks and gig 'em.
Jeez. That's kind of mad. That's kind of mad. I like it. I like it.
You know,
What old
so
boy said. What old boy said. I like it, Picasso. Said I like it, Picasso.
oh man.
yes.
Well,
Thank
war
you
eagle to
all
y'all boys.
for joining the world's greatest. Thank you, Zaza, John F. Zaza.
John F.
For,
Yo, you gotta thank
John F.
John F.
Zaza.
Dog.
For
John F. Zaza.
Cause before John F, the 5G wasn't it. So shout out
5G. Hey, I got 5G and LTE. We with AT&T about to this thing.
they ain't there.
That ain't there.
Don't
But yo,
shout
kill
out
it this
AT&T
weekend, man.
if they ain't giving. If they you
No.
was just talking about okay. So we
No
yeah.
free Wi-Fi. No free
Subscribe
shout
to our
outs.
YouTube. Check us out on Twitter. Check us
Yeah.
out on
Factual.
Instagram. You
Factual.
know, world's
Take the
greatest.
shot.
What
World's
else?
greatest gear.
Let's
You know what
do
I'm
it.
saying? Fact.
Let's do it.
Period.
And Jess, where can we find you on social?
You know, you can find me tweeting a little bit at Run to Rain. You can find me on Instagram at Rain2. That's about
You
it.
got the cutest video going right now.
Thank you. You see my little cousin?
Oh my gosh.
Ooh. You gotta,
Okay.
Zaza we don't follow each other yet, but I guess we gon' I'ma see, if he Hollywood or not. And I'ma see what happens.
What? I
If
follow
I
you. You
find
don't
out that
follow
he's
me. That's the
Hollywood,
thing.
I'm bringing him back up here. Let me see.
Who that
Oh,
is? You?
okay.
Damn.
That
Who?
must
That's
be
you in
you.
it?
Yeah, honestly.
I ain't Hollywood
Mm,
at all.
we'll see.
That's you, good enough.
And Zaza, how about you? Where can we find you on social?
You can find me on Instagram at IAMZAZA.W and on Twitter, RIPQ White.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. Zaza, I think you're the first guest to come on back-to-back shows.
Ooh, history. I told y'all boys, I'm making history this year. I made history on the World's Greatest Podcast 2 times in a row. Never lost. What LeVar Ball said, never lost. Never lost.
Well, once we got past the technical difficulties, I think the show got a lot better as we went on.
He was all right.
Yeah, you got Big Jess on the squad, man. The show's always
Don't
good.
bring that 5G that you had back. Don't come back with the 5G. Come back with LTE only. Don't come back with the 5G you had.
What that boy said,
only come back with John F 5G.
All right, we're gonna have to get this group together again, though.
Look, already you already tried to go back to your own. You froze.
Oh no.
For sure.
We better call it. We better call it. Well, thanks you guys, and thanks everybody for coming out. Thanks Fred for showing up for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, that boy Fred actually called me.
All right, guys.
I appreciate you guys. You know what I mean? Like, thank you guys for having me again. It's always a pleasure. Big Jess, I'm a huge fan. Always a fan. I seen you in Serbia. We sat next to each other on the bus. You know what I mean? Like you.
We did. He was cutting up. He was cutting up.
Yeah, bro.
No, we're not going to extend this conversation. I'm going to bed, Zaza.
She's got to get to bed.
I'm going to bed. Okay, so next time we'll tell a story. You just gonna have to come on a third time. Yeah. All right, bet.
All right, Monday you're coming back. All right. Good night, Jess.
Okay. Good night.
All right. Good luck. Yeah.
That's it, Zaza. It's just us.
Man, awesome sauce.
That was good, man. All right, so we gotta find. Oh, on Monday though we have Chris Nilsson on the show, the pole vaulter, and I believe we have. I want to say that we have Christina Clemens as well.
One of my favorite hurdlers.
I think we got to work it out though, because I think we have too many guests on Monday at the moment, so we're gonna have to slide some people around a little bit.
Nah, that's fine. You do what y'all do. You know what I mean? Like if you guys want me on, just let me know. Like,
yeah, we might have to start working you into the guest host rotation.
I guess that would be awesome. Hey, that would be good. I'm just here.
I mean, at this time, I think Brandon is still jamming on his exam that he has to get in by midnight. So, Brandon,
that boy, he a student athlete.
Exactly.
Big Zazie was that. Big Zazie was an athlete first, student second. So yeah.
All right, my friend. Always good seeing you.
I appreciate you guys so much. I gotta get one of them hats though.
Oh man. All right, I gotta text me your address. Yeah, I gotta send you some gear.
All right, bet.
Text me your address and sizes. I'm sending you gear.
All right, bet.
All right. Let's see you, buddy.
Peace. Yeah.